Hello and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Lines. Today we are here with the wonderful Toblerone Toby. What's up, my dude?
Oh, what's up, man?
Awesome. Now, Toby doesn't have a mic, or he doesn't have a webcam, so you're going to be
Oh, I don't
seeing
have a
some.
mic.
No mic. Yeah, I mean this is just me dubbing in his voice as well. But so yeah, instead you'll be seeing
Oh, you're doing a
some.
good job of it.
Yeah, yeah, mate. So instead, you'll be seeing some wonderful line rider visual ASMR, I guess, or whatever, like to accompany his speech. And yeah, let's get into the questions. So,
All right, I'm excited. Let's go.
all right. So, how did you get into line rider?
Well, I remember I was playing a Flash version when I was little, like 2008, 2009. I just remember really simple tracks, just loop the loops. Shit I was playing. Yeah, at the school computer labs as well. It'd be a big group of us just sitting around playing it.
Yeah, that's similar to me.
Yeah, just bouncing between that and Shopping Cart Hero. But yeah, Line Rider was the shit to play at the computer labs during lunchtime.
Yeah, I used to play
So
that, and like, what was it? Did you ever play Divine Intervention on Miniclip?
No, I've actually never heard of it.
Oh, dude, like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You gotta look that up. That's an amazing game.
After this, yeah, I'll definitely.
Yeah. So, did you have any? Had you seen any videos back then? Like, did you have any inspirations, or did you just play?
For majority of the time I was playing, then it was just me dicking around trying to kill Bosch in the funniest ways for my like 8 or 9 year old mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. And then I remember I saw a Tech Dog video. Actually, don't remember what it was, but I just remember like the really big curves and the scenery and the nose manuals,
Mm.
and that was like it just grabbed me. I wanted to try doing that shit, and then I saw some quirk videos. You know, I'm still like 9 years old. I had no idea what was going on. I tried copying that, could not figure it out for the life of me.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds a lot like me. Like the first track I saw was like I think Jagged Peak Adventure. Like someone showed me on their phone and I was like, holy crap, like I gotta like make something like that. And then like at some point I came across these like quirk things. I just like tried to copy them and then like it's like now it's like a fling is like so easy to do because of the tools. But like
I know everything's so quick and easy now.
yeah,
Yeah, it was Tech Dog's Make Believe. That's what it was.
oh really?
I remember I was so obsessed. I even downloaded the song. I kept listening to it. Got a bit obsessive with that, but yeah.
Yeah, like I remember trying to make a fling and it took me like I don't even know, like an hour or something of just like constant. Or maybe it was like half. I don't even know how long it took. It took me a long ass time to get like three wells to kind of work.
And I remember the first time I made a fling in LRA, I just went nuts and made an entire track of flings.
Yeah,
I think I've lost it here, okay, so I can't show it, but yeah.
yeah,
It
fair.
was, yeah, just when I was like 9 or 10, it was just dicking around trying to make manuals, could never do them, but yeah. Just because of that one Tech Dog track.
Yeah, fair enough. So
Yeah, it was yeah.
no, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, sorry, I didn't know what I was going to say.
Alright. So how would you say you go about making a track these days?
I don't really have any plan when I'm doing it. I'm just doing what flows. I'm not sure how to explain what I mean by flow, but
I've heard that
no,
mentioned before, but by Gao Yabao.
yeah, I remember seeing something in the Discord, but I base flow off something completely different. Like I used to fly racing drones freestyle and everything,
Oh, really? That's pretty cool.
and I base flow off my predefined thing of flow in that hobby. It's just like I don't know how to explain. Just the transitions between every technique and
Yeah.
keeping it all fluid. And
Yeah.
like I know with Line Rider, I play with rotation a lot in most of the ones I'm just sticking around with.
Yeah. So it's kind of
But
like how like the momentum transitions fluidly from like one movement to another without like losing
yeah,
movement
yeah,
and that kind of
pretty
stuff.
much, yeah. And like keeping the movement nice and smooth and no like really jagged bits, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like might have a smooth chain and it overlaps and it doesn't like grab the head contact point and like smush them together.
Oh
Trying
yeah,
to
yeah,
avoid things like that and keeping it all really smooth.
yeah. That's
So I got
pretty.
pretty obsessed with foot chains and everything in one of my tracks that I put out.
Yeah, they can be like really, really
Yeah,
nice visually to watch as well.
yeah, you can keep them really smooth, but sometimes it's a bit difficult. What do I do here? But yeah, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Just keeping the rotation consistent, the movement consistent, keeping everything fitting. I don't know, it sort of contradicts some of my other tracks where I was doing those blue 10-point cannons.
Hmm.
But even then, I was trying to keep the speed consistent. Like I would go into one at like 8 ppf and I'll come out of it at 9.
Okay, yeah,
Everything would be really similar, really close. So it would
yeah,
just be like more of a bounce instead of a jarring change in speed.
yeah. That's like a really kind of interesting application of the 10 PC that I've also used because like if you like kind of hide them, then you can kind of transition from like one space to another in a way that's like doesn't really make sense. But like if you copy all the other lines and make it look the same, like you can get this kind of illusion, which is quite cool.
Yeah, didn't they? Didn't Rideliner do that in Ham with the singularity cannon
Kind
with
of, but
the
there's
green
like
lines for the
there's like
teleport thing?
oh yeah, I think he like covered one of them up, didn't he? Like into like some massive blocks that like look the same. I can't even remember. It's been a while since I watched Ham. But yeah,
Don't understand you, but yeah.
I did something like that where like I had a recycled like circle that was like going around in manual, and I had no way of getting out of the circle, so I just like seamed my like channel logo into it and hit like a 10 PC in the eye, and then like copy and pasted the same circle but with like a green out, so like it looks like it's like one thing, but it's actually like two different circles. So
Oh shit, really?
yeah, so you can like do some cool illusory shit with them.
It's like nothing's ever changed. Actually, I
Yeah,
remember I seen something in the previews tab. Was it? I think it was Aether. I don't know. Sorry
maybe. I
if it
think
was you, but I don't know.
it's probably Aether if it's something to do with 10 PCs.
Yeah. It was either Aether or Arlen. I'm not too sure, but what was it? On the beat of one of the songs, instead of like having a cannon or something there, he couldn't get it to work out, so he just made it look like it changed direction with green lines.
That's
But it
pretty
was
sick.
going in the same direction, same speed, everything the entire time. But yeah, you can do some
Uh,
crazy things like that.
yeah, that's pretty good actually. So yeah, let's have a.
Yeah.
What else would I normally ask? So yeah, like, do you have a goal with Line Rider, or is it just to like please yourself?
For me, it's just killing time most of the time. Yeah. I do like making tracks, and if I make one that I'm really happy with, I'll put it on the Discord and the forums. Like most of the things I make, it's just like most of the tracks I used to start was just when I was sitting at uni in my lecture and I couldn't be bothered paying attention. I'll just dick around.
Yeah,
um, but yeah, if I do finish something, which isn't very often, that's when I'll like, put it out. But yeah, I pretty much just make tracks just for myself, kill time.
yeah,
And yeah, I
fair
don't
enough.
really know how to answer. Like, I know with two of mine, I think I don't even remember which track it was. I know the first track I put out, that Extentashi on sync,
Oh yeah.
I was really bored just killing time. I asked my mate if he could send me a song that I could just try and sync to in Line
Oh
Rider.
yeah.
He sent me that song, and I ended up just making it in a couple days' time.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, some of the best tracks are made when you just make them all in one go, I feel. So
I don't actually think I've made a multi-attempt track like that. I end up just hating the song by the time.
yeah, it's like after like the whatever it is, like thousandth time you like listen to like the same beat of the song, you're just like, no thanks.
Yeah, that happened with me with My Celine. I cannot listen to that song anymore.
Yeah, some of the tracks
Uh,
I've made, I just don't listen to anymore. Or it's like I find it's like Line Riders kind of like corrupted my music taste. Like sometimes I'll listen to a song and be like, it's a really cool song. And I'm like, I couldn't make that in Line Rider though, so I just like stopped listening.
yes. Oh, I can't listen to acoustic music anymore because of that.
Yeah,
Because I always end up trying something.
yeah, it's like so
It
annoying.
never works, but oh. I always try.
Yeah, like lyrics are like a really interesting thing to try and interpret in line writer. I find it's like,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah,
But when you say it's like to interpret, you mean like the feel of the track, or
yeah.
you try and sync to it?
Sometimes a bit
Because
of
you can
both.
do a bunch with it.
Yeah, it's like in one track I think was called like IDFC. I tried to like kind of visually sync and atmospherically sync to lyrics, but like that's probably like the most lyrical attempt I guess that I have as a track. But like other times I've just kind of gone with the general vibe. Like it kind of depends.
Yeah, whenever I'm making a track, I always try and stop myself from syncing to the lyrics, but it always just ends up happening anyway.
Yeah, yeah, it's like an
But
unconscious
it's just
habit.
one of those things. Yeah, it's just habit.
Yeah, totally. What do you think about syncing in general?
Um, I like it. Um, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I remember I was watching the Sheldon behind the lines. He was saying something that's getting a bit stale,
Yeah.
and I've got to agree with him on that. But then again, I only literally just joined the community last year, so I can't really talk.
Well, no, that's still a
It's
valid.
all it's all I've really done. Like
Mm,
in the
that
big projects, all of mine have been synced.
yeah,
I've got a couple of tracks where like about 40, 45 seconds long. They're not synced, but I just find I always get over them quickly.
yeah. But it's like if you're a new guy and you're still saying like that you kind of find syncing is getting a bit stale, like that is even more representative in a way than an old guy saying it. You see what I mean? But I mean,
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah,
it's like from my perspective, I kind of tend to agree with Sheldon. I think sync is a great tool, and like I use it myself, obviously. But I feel like
100%. Me too.
like sometimes it can get a little mechanical, which is something I'm trying to like maybe move away from in my tracks at the moment. To
Yeah,
try
I'm
and
starting to notice a lot of it feels manufactured.
yeah,
Like, sure, it can be a really good track, but it doesn't feel like you're really watching something new. You're
yeah,
not really.
yeah, exactly.
It's not really a new track.
Yeah, and this is something that OTD touched on when I was talking with him about it. He kind of referred to a lot of the sync tracks as kind of music fan fiction, which I think is like maybe a little
So
harsh, but
that's a bit of an odd way of putting it, but I
yeah,
can sort of see where it's coming from.
yeah. Like I feel like I wouldn't maybe have like quite as opposed a view as that. To me, it's more like people just need to like not. Well, I don't even know if I should use the word stale. Really, it's just like track making needs to like evolve a bit more, like in more like directions other than just going A B B A B B B D or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I feel
yeah,
like 10-point cannons and singularities have also added to that.
yeah. Like
And I'm guilty of using them in everything as
yeah,
well, but
yeah. I use them
it's
too.
just such a useful technique. But at the same time, I'm already sick of it. I keep using them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
No offense to everyone that uses them. I'm in your part as well, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, in a way, like I feel like the kind of like the ultimate. I don't know, like singularities in. I don't know. It depends how you use them though, because like conundrum is all 10-point canon track. Okay, is like one of the
Oh, that's
best. Yeah,
insane.
like
Yeah.
it's like one of
That's a really good use of them.
yeah. It's not necessarily. I guess it's not the technique. Like it's like how you use it, like what you do with it. That's like
Yeah,
important.
it's a really unique use case.
Yeah.
It stands out from everything else.
Yep. Yeah.
But then you see everything using it on like the downbeat of a song. Like I'm guilty of that in like, oh, what song is it? What track? Oh, let me just bring up my YouTube. I'm forgetting the names. Was it oh, bear with me a second.
Go for it.
How do I use YouTube? Can't figure this out. I'm no fool. I was using that to punctuate every beat. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I just find like now with tracks like that, even when I'm rewatching it, yeah, it's just that manufactured feel. Everything feels really similar, all
Yeah.
drawing upon the same thing.
It's not like something you can come back to that often. You can get more out of it, kind of thing.
Yeah, like it feels like everyone's just used like the main use of it way too much.
Yeah.
Just got to find new ways to milk them now. Like they pay.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I feel like yeah, so I guess this would probably lead on. Like, what do you think will happen with stuff like syncing or the way people make tracks in general? Like, do you see it evolving or it's staying the same?
um, Honestly, just see it staying the same. But you never know. Someone might do something groundbreaking. I know it's hard to say that for line right away. Like 99% of everything's been discovered, but
Oh,
like something
yeah.
new, something out there.
Oh, you mean
Like
like a
in
new technique or something? Or do you just mean like a new
sort of,
style?
not really. Like a new style
Yeah.
of how the tracks pan out and everything.
Hmm.
Like something unique like Conundrum is okay and Ragdoll. Like a
Yeah.
new take on track making.
Yeah,
Like people
totally.
setting themselves like a restriction on doing this or that
Yeah.
and trying to commit to it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
having a hard time putting into words.
We say this a lot, but yeah, we know what each other means. And hopefully like we're getting this across to the audience. Like one other I guess way of saying this, like I made a track recently called Who We Want to Be, which is kind of addresses like this issue of people kind of like climbing the line rider ladder, let's say, for like for no real like goal or purpose, and then like the passion dying. So it's like one of these things where like you want to like watch how you make a track. Don't just like copy what everyone else is doing necessarily. Like try and I mean, if like what they're doing makes you happy, then you know do whatever you want to do.
Well, by all means, yeah.
But it's like if you want to like I don't know, like I don't want to sound like I'm trying to influence people, but I guess you know like just like mix it up a bit, like reinterpret how you do things, and you might surprise yourself.
Yeah, 100%. Like instead of trying to make a track to please everyone else, just push your own limits and see if you can find something unique yourself instead of relying on everyone else.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
yeah, totally know what you mean.
Yeah, like how those like the Fling Quirk tracks. If you look at them from someone who's never played Line Rider before, like they all look the same. They all pan out the same.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
yeah. This was something that Rabbit Squirrel touched on in his gamification video.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
had like
That's what I'm thinking of.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he had like the time lapse from whenever it was. He had like several years. And it was like every single one of these looks the same. And I think we might be entering an age where like this is maybe starting to happen again. So you know, like we need like innovation, I guess, to keep the pot of ideas going, keep people you know motivated and inspired to actually try that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they're trying making their own track, make it their own.
Yeah.
Like stand out from the crowd, but it's Line Rider. It's a dude on a sled going down lines.
Yeah.
I don't know how different you'd be able to make it.
Well, the funny thing is a lot of tracks aren't actually that. Like, they aren't a line rider going down lines. If you think about it,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
almost unique. Like most of the time. I mean, look at this track you're making here. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I'm just screwing around with alt
it's like
flings.
so
Mate,
meta.
they're alt
Like,
flings, yeah. This is literally the most cookie cutter thing I'm doing right now while I'm complaining about it.
yeah. It's like, God damn it, be unique. Meanwhile, makes like
Be
10
unique,
different
meanwhile.
flings. Neck for neck. Oh,
You know what?
jeez.
Let's put a 10-point cannon in here.
Yeah. Let's break it up. Okay. So, would you say like you have a philosophy for Line Rider, or is it just do whatever feels good?
Pretty much just do whatever feels good. Like whenever I feel myself starting to get into a rut with like the style of tracks, I just try and force myself to change it up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
And
good
yeah,
plan.
like Let Me Die, when I put that out, holy shit, that's actually really depressing now I think about it. Why did I use that? But yeah, when I did Let Me Die, I could feel myself getting like stuck in a style that I was pretty much bored with.
Yeah.
And that's why at the end I was trying to figure out what to do, and I made a really long fling sequence.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm having trouble putting into words.
you know what I mean. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
you know what
mate.
I mean,
Yeah,
mate.
fucking oath. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Having I sunk several months into making a track, a 25-minute track that I got 11 and a half minutes into, and I just reached this wall where I was just like, I just don't have like the motivation to continue because I'm kind of like I felt like I'd done everything I could do with the music, and like even now like I still really want to complete it, but it's just like I don't have the energy to. That it's like so
Yeah,
much.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it's like there's so much like work that I put into it that needs to like kind of be released at some point. Which is like, oh, am I ever gonna finish it or not? I don't even know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like you want to keep going with that, but
Uh,
you're just at that wall that you can't get past
uh, I'm
unless you do something you're just not happy with and just push it out.
yeah, like edit the song so that there's only like a few minutes left or something, and then just like I do that a lot actually. Like one of the reasons like a lot of the tracks I do make is like maybe like only like 1.5 minutes long is because like a lot of songs are repetitive, so I just like edit all the repeats out so I don't get bored. So you just end
Yeah,
up with
I know
this.
what you mean by repetitive. I actually noticed that the last two tracks I put out, if you just wait a bit, they sync again with the song.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. You can just like
And so I've
recycle
done
the
that
same
with two of
track.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did for the color playback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lol.
Yeah, I know what you mean by that wall. What was this? What was the track? Alone in the Nighttime, I think.
All right.
I think I've got it on this version. Give me a sec. Mm, okay, I have no idea. It's in my other hard drive. But yeah, that's the one that I had to put on streamable because of a copyright thing, where I
Yeah.
had all those blue 10-point cannons. I don't even know if they were 10-point cannons, just bouncing around.
Yeah.
And I kept trying to use them to punctuate part of the, like, each beat.
Mm.
But when you're just doing the blue ones, they just get so annoying to keep on making. And with friction on some of the contact points, sometimes you just don't even know why they don't work.
Yeah. That's kind of
Like,
messed up.
so I just gave up and went into some flings.
Yeah. Yeah. 10-point cannons are like can be such a pain. Like I actually made some pretty detailed tutorials with Aether, who kind of is like I don't know, like let's say like the foremost authority on them, and like
Yeah.
like getting like the basics of like a 10-point cannon is like pretty decent, but he had like all these like higher level ones that we did in like kind of like advanced version afterwards, and like I could only get like two of them. Like the rest were just like so fiddly that I was just like, man, I do not have like like I'd rather just like change the track than have to make that or something. It's just like oh
I've never actually made a red 10-point cannon, so
oh
I've
yeah.
got no idea. I should probably watch that.
Yeah, the basic one it does have some really like useful advice that help me to make like basic ones way more easily. But yeah, like making them on your own is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, surprising I kept on seeing in the Discord. Oh, I made one in X amount of seconds. Like,
Yeah, I was like, what? You made that in like 2 minutes? It's like I could
are you a
see.
wizard or something? Like,
Yeah, I don't get it. Well, also like the other thing is like now like with the new LRA updated lines, it's much easier because you can just use like times 255 lines instead of having to multi-line, so you don't have to like move the lines about as much to actually make one work. So like now you probably could make one in like 30 seconds. But
yeah, and you won't have to stuff around constantly adding all those lines.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
so yeah, probably like the last question I would ask is if you had a message for someone new who might be watching this, new to Line Rider, new to the community, like what would you tell them?
Uh, honestly, no idea. I'll just say do your own thing and just fart around until whatever you're planning works out.
Yeah.
No, putting me on the spot, man.
That's good advice though. Like because like you don't want to just say to someone, get good or die trying or whatever,
Get good, kid.
yeah, become an MLG line rider expert or whatever. Like you want to just kind of tell people to just do what makes you happy in line rider.
Yeah, like if there's something in a track that you want to copy, like now the resources are there and they're building up more and more and
Yeah.
more. Like, I remember when I was trying to learn stacking, I ended up on rewatching a Twitch stream with, I think it was Rapid.
Oh, really? Is it?
I actually don't know who it was.
I think that's where like Anton tries to teach Rabbit how to do like higher level techniques or something.
I
Might be
ended up
that.
watching through that,
Yeah.
and I ended up making those blue 10-point cannons off that.
Oh, really?
And so I got, yeah, because I wanted to try and make something where I could just ping Bosch to like a million Ks.
Yeah.
But
Totally.
I ended up just figuring that out, and it worked in the same place. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and like updating the resources is something that I've tried to commit myself to. Like we have tutorials on. I think we've done manuals, flings, uh, advanced singularity techniques because there's already a pretty good singularity tutorial out there, like 10 PCs. I released a Cremule one the other day, and eventually I hope to cover everything, just to try and make it more accessible to people. But yeah, like the information's there, like if people want it, but don't like force yourself to do anything you don't want to do.
Yeah, don't force yourself to, everyone's using 10-point cannons, I need to use them in my track to make it good.
Yeah, it's
like just do your own thing.
It's like, look at some of the most popular tracks that are out there. They're like all flat sled manual tracks, pretty much, with like like no techniques. So like it doesn't really matter what technique you use. Like it matters. Like if you want to get like people to watch a track, like if that's one of your goals, then like what matters is like the intentionality behind a track, like the theme, like how it affects people watching it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like with me, it's like, sure, you can use whatever technique, but the execution of it also plays a really big role.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, you've also got the intentional that behind it. Yeah, pretty much rehash what you just said, but
totally. Okay, so unless you have anything else to say, like I think I've probably exhausted my list of questions for today.
Yeah, that's about it. Got
nothing
else.
Awesome. All right, so thanks for joining us, Toby, and
good.
Safe, yeah, and yeah, to all you watching out there, leave some love and hate down below, and we shall see you in the next episode. Cheers.
Thanks for the feedback, all 12 people watching.